So what's the point of Space? Let me show you our latest cover, supporting my latest Lemon AI Space. If you don't know how to use it, you can first check out our template marketplace. Our template marketplace is divided into 3 official examples, and the rest are the latest cases created by our users, or there might be a bigger board. I see 3. The first one is some of our own Lemon AI data, used to create a space. The second is using stock data to create a space. Third, we use the 2025 AI enterprise landscape to make a space. For example, if you want to look at MAG7's data, you can go to replay. You can see that, first of all, in this space here, we've stored MAG7's data, including annual reports from Google, Tesla, and Apple. We've already uploaded the data from the annual reports for the quarter of October 2025, and it's already been processed. For RAG, the original file might be a PDF, even for Meta. Then I treat it as a RAG document. Once you upload it, it's automatically processed. In the second step, you can see that we've accomplished several tasks inside. The first task is to create a question. There's a task to compare AI regulation. As you can see in the final report, this is a Q&A. For the second part, I did another task with it. Earlier, MAG7 meticulously created an insightful infographic on the intricate world of finance. You can clearly see that NanoBanana Pro expertly made this particular infographic. Regarding the fascinating realm of generative AI, this is a comprehensive chart detailing the 6 most crucial key terms extracted directly from the annual financial report. The third one, as you can see, it helped us create a report like Training Dollar Suffered, a tech insight blog. You can see that its prompt is to create a prompt for me based on MAG7's annual report. It generated a news clipping about various companies. Then, for the fourth one, for example, if you want to make an MD news clipping, it will generate a report for MD. Of course, when you want to do it yourself, you just need to click Remix, and then you can take this, remix the data into your own new Spacely. Everyone, we can see our own space, and at this point we can ask questions according to our own needs, right? For example, I often create a model for everyone to show the differences between us, which means we can let Lemon help you write code to do a valuation analysis. For example, if I want a DCF analysis of Google stock over 3 months with 10%, 30%, and 50% scenarios, it will generate a to-do list. First, obtain the data. Second, write the code for the DCF model. The third step is to run the code and process the system's data. Finally, you'll get a report so everyone can directly see the results. That is, you'll get a complete conclusion. After running the code, you can see that the first step is to read the data, and the second step is to write a Python script to build the F model. Run each DCF model. Read the data from the JSON file, which contains the data from the past few months. After running the Python script, you'll get the results. Then, perform a sensitivity analysis on these results. Once the code has finished running, you'll get a report. ND, which is the entire reporter MD. You might think that this report MD, here you have both the MD and the JSON, and then you get a data analysis chart, a chart analyzing the stock price. Of course, in this part, it tells me that it used data from the past 2 years, 2023 and 2024, and used the most recent year to calculate the growth rate year over year. Finally, it produces this data. The second question is, I want to take the data from the previous file and convert it into Chinese and write it in an HTML format. As you can see, our to-do list includes telling it to translate the content of this MD file, including extracting the key points. Second, designing a Chinese structure. Third, generating images. Fourth, finally compiling it into a report. You can see that in the end, we produce a complete report. Okay, this is a finished report summarizing the key points, including whether the current stock price is high or low, right? The value is overestimated, so the recommendation is to sell, right? Why is that? Because according to Google's DCF, using the discounted cash flow model, it's overvalued by 70%. The fair value should be 91, but right now it's 308, right? So why is it overestimated? According to the DCF calculation, the current market price only has a 10% probability of going up, while the baseline probability is that it will drop by 60%. That's because the load growth rate from 2025 to 2029 is basically just 1%, with an average of 1%. So the beta's forecast rate is 32%, and the risk-free rate is 2.5%. This is all about the cash flow forecast. The key is the sensitivity analysis of the forecast. So, considering pessimistic baseline and optimistic scenarios and then assessing the risks, the AI sector has already seen a rise, but if there's a downturn, there will be regulatory interventions, competition, and so on. So, the overall conclusion is still to advise everyone. There are pessimistic baseline and optimistic target prices, with the optimistic one at 100 and the highest reaching 135, but now it's already over 300, which is really too high, so I don't recommend everyone to buy. Of course, this only takes the DCF model into account, and in the stock market there are all kinds of price fluctuations. Okay, so here we can see that we can continue to upload or search for more information as sources or upload our own data. As a source provider, for example, I'm about to have the annual report. I can upload the annual report and let it continue processing. Then, as you can see, here are the results of the 2 tasks just now, which you can quickly view. In this chat, by default, we include reports, right? How do you create a report? Whether it's a brief document, a study guide, or a blog post, these 3 templates are based on these source materials and our data. You can also configure an HTML setup for a brief document. This HTML configuration can also be used to create, say, photography or infographics, and we use Banana to do that. The ecosystem is still a balanced grade map-based one, and of course, you can also create images. Whether you want to make a poster logo image or a video, for us it's simpler to do opening, ending, or introduction videos. You can have 3 tips to run, and it can incorporate the content from here. Basically, turning it into a video. Of course, this video consumes more resources, so it's best to use it after everyone has recharged a few points. That's what we do. The core concept of Space is about how we can manage our existing private data, treating it as a source and putting it in. Based on this source, what we call input everything, output anything, you can export it in all kinds of formats. If you're interested, you can try it out. Later, we'll introduce even more fun features, including letting it generate all kinds of code, turn it into various games, create all sorts of websites, and even make different apps. It's all possible. Next, we'll move on to various PPTs.